Friday, 9:03 a.m. Paycheck hits. By Sunday night, it's new shoes, a restaurant, a movie you don't remember choosing. Nobody stole it. You just never decided where it was going. So it went wherever felt good first. That's not a spending problem. That's a routine problem. Here are the 9 moves that happen the moment money lands, in order, every time. Module 1. Your paycheck already has debts you haven't paid yet. Not credit card debt. Debts to your future self. Rent that's due in 11 days. The dentist appointment you booked and forgot about. The birthday gift for a nephew whose birthday you will, without fail, remember at 11 p.m. the night before. Here's what you actually do instead. You look at the number in your account and treat it as a single, undivided blob of mine now. Psychologists call this mental accounting. Money that exists in your head as a category, not in a ledger as a fact. A tax refund feels like a bonus. It's not. It's your own money, held by the IRS for a year, interest-free on your behalf. You didn't win anything. You overpaid. The fix isn't a personality change. It's a 5-minute inventory. Before you spend a single dollar of a new paycheck, write down every obligation that money is already spoken for. Rent, groceries, the subscriptions you forgot you have. What's left after that list is the only number that's actually yours to enjoy. Here's the part nobody mentions. That number is usually smaller than you think, and finding out is more useful than being surprised in 3 weeks. Rule: know what's already spent, not what's already gone. Module 2. The calendar doesn't know when you get paid. Every budgeting app in existence resets on the 1st. Your paycheck does not care about the 1st. If you're paid on the 15th and the 30th, budget for the month means budgeting for 2 different half months, with 2 different rent due dates crammed in the middle. You currently do this. Open a budget on January 1st, watch it tell you you're on track, and ignore that your actual money event, the day you get paid, happened 2 weeks earlier and has nothing to do with the number on the screen. Think of it like judging a marathon by mile markers that don't match the course. The math is fine. The map is wrong. Now flip it. Your financial month should start on payday, not the calendar's day 1. If you're paid bi-weekly, your month is 14 days, not 30. And every bill needs to fit inside that window on purpose, not by accident. This is the single highest leverage 5-minute fix in this entire list, and almost nobody does it, because almost no budgeting tool lets you set it. This is exactly the kind of mismatch I built MoneyFlow to fix. You set your own month start day to match your actual payday, and every number in the app finally lines up with your real cash flow. Back to the list. Rule: budget your pay cycle, not the calendars. Module 3. 6 months of nothing happening is the actual goal. An emergency fund sounds boring because it's supposed to be boring. The entire point is that you build it, and then, ideally, absolutely nothing interesting ever happens to it again. You currently treat emergency loosely. A sale, a trip that basically pays for itself, a slow month at work that isn't actually an emergency, just an inconvenience. Then the real emergency shows up: the car, the ER visit, the layoff, and the account that was supposed to catch you has already been spent on a jacket. The math is blunt. If your baseline monthly cost is $3,000, 6 months of coverage is $18,000. That's not a suggestion. It's the number where bad month stops being able to turn into bad year. A car accident that costs $5,000 to fix either comes out of that fund or it comes out of a loan. And that loan, paid back with interest, can easily cost $2,000 more than the repair itself. Here's the part nobody mentions. The fund isn't there to be used. It's there to be ignored. The version of this that works is the one you forget exists until the day you desperately need to remember it. Rule: build the fund to forget it, not to dip into it. Module 4. Debt without a deadline is just dread with a minimum payment. This is the same problem as Rule 1, wearing a repayment schedule instead of a receipt. Mental accounting again, except instead of ignoring where money goes, you're ignoring when debt ends. A minimum payment is designed to feel manageable. That's the trap. $6,500 on a card at 19.5% interest, paid at the minimum of $130 a month, takes 8 years to clear and costs roughly $6,000 in interest, nearly doubling what you owed. The payment feels fine every month. The total is the part nobody looks at, because nobody's shown a date. You currently know the balance. You almost never know the day it hits zero. That absence is doing a lot of quiet psychological damage. Debt with no visible end reads as permanent, even when it isn't. Now flip it. The number that matters isn't the balance, it's the date. A payoff date turns an abstract weight into a countdown. And countdowns are things you can actually root for. This is the exact gap MoneyFlow's debt tracker closes. It takes your balance, rate, and payment, and shows you an actual calendar date it hits zero, not just a shrinking number. 2 sentences, back to the point. A debt with a deadline is a project. A debt without one is just weather. Rule: track the date it ends, not just the amount you owe. Module 5. The interest rate doesn't care about your feelings. There are 2 honest ways to pay off multiple debts, and they optimize for 2 different things. Neither is a mistake. The avalanche method pays the highest interest rate first, regardless of size. Mathematically, this is the cheapest path. Every dollar goes where it saves you the most money. The snowball method pays the smallest balance first, regardless of rate. Mathematically, it's slightly more expensive. Psychologically, it's a faster win. And a faster win is sometimes the difference between someone who keeps going and someone who quits in month 4. You currently pick neither on purpose. You pay whatever card sent the most annoying email this month. That's not a strategy. That's a squeaky wheel getting the grease. Here's the turn. This isn't a math question. It's a which version of you actually finishes question. If you're the type who needs momentum to stay motivated, the extra interest on the snowball method is the price of a plan you'll actually complete. If you don't need the momentum, the avalanche saves you real money. Neither is the smart one and the other dumb one. That framing is why people abandon both. Rule: pick the method that finishes, not the one that sounds correct. Module 6. Turning down free money is still spending it. A 401k match is the only place in personal finance where the return is guaranteed and instant, and most people leave it on the table anyway. Say you make $90,000 a year and your employer matches 3%. That match, in full, is $2,700. Money that exists purely because you asked for it, by contributing enough to trigger it. Contribute 10% of that salary pre-tax, and you're also only taxed on $80,000 instead of $90,000 that year. 2 separate benefits, stacked, for doing the exact same action. You currently treat retirement contributions as a later problem, something to increase once you're making more. Meanwhile, the match resets every pay period, whether you claim it or not. It doesn't roll over. It doesn't wait. It just evaporates. Here's the part nobody mentions. Not contributing enough to get the full match isn't neutral. It's not saving money for now. It's actively declining a raise your employer already agreed to give you. Nobody would turn down a bonus check handed to them in an envelope. This is the same envelope, just automated, so it's easy to ignore. Rule: take the match first. Decide on the rest second. Module 7. You don't have to be right. You have to be regular. Same argument as the interest rate fight. Stop trying to find the correct answer and start finding the repeatable one. Timing the market means waiting for the dip or selling before the crash. The problem: nobody can consistently call either one, and you'd need to be right twice. Once getting out, once getting back in. Here's the alternative, with real numbers. Say a stock moves from $10 to $5 to $20 a share across 3 months, and you invest $100 each month regardless. Month 1 buys 10 shares. Month 2, the cheap month, buys 20 shares. Month 3 buys 5 shares. Total: 35 shares for $300, an average cost of $8.57 a share. You never picked the bottom. You still ended up paying less than the top and less than the middle, just by showing up on schedule. You currently wait for a good time to start investing. There is no signal that tells you that. There's only the decision to put in a fixed amount, on a fixed date, and let the price do whatever it's going to do. Rule: invest on a schedule, not on a hunch. Module 8. Your time has a price, and you've been underselling it. Every hour has a cost, even the ones you're not getting paid for. Economists call it opportunity cost, the thing you gave up by choosing what you did instead. You currently treat unpaid tasks as free because no money changes hands. 3 hours cleaning the house on Sunday feels like it costs nothing. It doesn't. If those same 3 hours could earn you $90 on a side project and hiring the cleaning out costs $30, the task was never free. It was costing you $60 in the difference every single week. This isn't a case for outsourcing everything. It's a case for actually doing the arithmetic instead of assuming your time has no market value just because nobody's currently paying for it. Here's the turn. Write down the 3 tasks you dread most. Time each one honestly. Price out what it would cost to hand off, and what you could earn in that same window doing something else. Sometimes the math says, keep doing it yourself. You'll be surprised how rarely that's actually true once it's on paper instead of in your head. Rule: price your time before you spend it, not after. Module 9. The trick was never discipline. It was never deciding at all. Every rule before this one assumed you'd remember to apply it. The pay cycle budget, the deadline on your debt, the fixed monthly investment. That assumption is the weak point. Psychologists call it decision fatigue. Your first choices of the day are sharp. Your 2000th choice of the week is not. By Thursday night, should I transfer this to savings, competes with actual exhaustion, and exhaustion usually wins. So remove the decision. Set your paycheck to deposit automatically. Route it into 2 accounts the same day it lands. One for fixed bills and essentials, one for savings. Set a spending target for the flexible stuff: restaurants, takeout, the impulse buys, and at the end of each cycle, whatever's left sweeps into savings without you touching it. This is the one place a 2-tap habit actually beats a spreadsheet. Friction is the real reason people fall off a system, not laziness. And the fastest logging habit is the one you'll still be doing in month 6. Here's the part nobody mentions. The goal was never to become a more disciplined person. It was to build a system where discipline is no longer required. Rule 2 gave you the right window. Rule 3 gave you the right target. This rule makes sure you never have to remember either one again. Rule: automate the decision. Don't repeat it. 9 rules, 1 paycheck. Know what's already spent. Budget your cycle, not the calendar. Build the fund to forget it. Track the date your debt ends. Pick the method that finishes. Take the match first. Invest on schedule. Price your time. Automate the rest. None of this requires more willpower. It requires fewer moments where willpower is the only thing standing between you and the decision. I built money flow around the same idea. No bank linking, just your own numbers, so you always know what's actually left instead of guessing. Links below.